let's talk about creating good habits with your baby and eventually toddler. So, I first want to start off by saying that babies and toddlers can learn more than we typically think they can. A lot of people underestimate them. So, don't make that mistake right off the beginning. Another thing I want to say is focus on recurring events. So, some means would be things that you do daily. So, something to work on would be not having your baby throw their cup on the ground. This will make your life better if you work on this in practice and put some effort into teaching and training them that, hey, our cup stays on the table, our cup stays on the table, and just keep repeating that and keep working. It will make mealtimes going forward so much more enjoyable for you. Another thing would be buckling into the car seat when it's a huge fight. It makes you not want to go anywhere. It makes it a struggle and it's not enjoyable. Some other things would be like diaper changes, teaching them to try to stay still. One of my children did well with this. One of them, it's still a battle constantly. And that's okay. You can't win them all, but it's an area that I'd like to work on and keep growing in that area. Another one would be related to sleep. I'm not going to go into the whole naps and bedtime, but if you can make your routines around those very streamlined and very calm, that's ideal. So let's create good habits with our little ones. It's going to reduce arguing. It's going to reduce meltdowns. It just makes life more enjoyable. So how do we do this? How do we do this is through repetition and communicating with them. So first of all, we need to communicate what we're wanting from them. And this can be through various different ways. So there's obviously baby sign language. That can be a very helpful tool. Other ones, you can just make up your own things. For example, our first baby, they were kind of on the short side. They could stand, and our couches are a little bit on the tall side. So they would walk up to the couch, we're sitting on it, and they would whine. They'd be like, And it wasn't our favorite thing. After a long work day, you just want to relax and have a calm evening in the living room. And the really bothered my husband and I. We completely understood what they were doing. They were communicating with us. And we weren't mad at them for doing so, but we thought to ourselves, how can we get them to communicate in a more enjoyable way, in a more productive way? So my husband, I believe, was the one who came up with it. They'd walk up to the couch, and if they wanted up, they weren't able to say up yet. So what we did was on the couch, they would do like a tap, tap. Their hand could reach. They would do tap, tap. And we'd say tap, tap, up, up. And we repeated this over and over again. And they learned it. And it was so cool that they learned this. So amazing. Gosh, this was when they were 12 or so months old. They were little at the time. Try to apply this in different areas. Another one that we've worked on is with our children not throwing their cups at the table, not dropping them on the ground on purpose. Accidents, of course, happen. But what we would do is like when their cup fell, we would put it back on the table and like kind of tap the table like this is where it goes. It stays on the table, like right here. Or if they looked like they were kind of like leaning over about to throw their cup, we'd grab their cup and put it on the table and be like, right here, cup right here. And we really positively tried to reinforce that and encourage them to keep the cup on the table. And again, this made our mealtimes more enjoyable. Now, I'm not trying to say that life is all about us enjoying every moment and our child is not the priority. They, of course, are. But if we can have an enjoyable home, that's the goal for everyone. And also these things that we're teaching them, they're good for them to learn. Not throwing your cup is a good thing for your child to learn, obviously. And then when it comes to like the whining at the couch, whining isn't how we communicate with people. We communicate through talking. They were not ready to talk yet, so we taught them basically our own little family sign of tap, tap on the couch. That helped them get up. So I'm a huge fan of communicating with little ones and working with them, not talking at them and just almost like ignoring them. Oh, they're whining, just deal with it. Let's go back and figure out why are they whining? What's the root cause, reason, problem, or thing they're trying to communicate? Now, I will say, when it comes to creating good habits with your baby into toddlerhood, it takes effort. It takes time. And I would say most importantly, it takes consistent repetition. You want to do those same things over and over again, and they will learn. Again, back to my couch example, we didn't make it this complex thing. The couch, it was tap, tap. So simple. You want to keep your habits, rituals, routines very, very short and simple. Do not make them complex, especially the younger your baby or toddler is at the time that you're trying to teach them this. So I just want to encourage you, if you have frustrations in your home or just sticky points or points of contention or fussiness, try to peel back the layers of that fussiness and those issues and figure out why are they happening and what is a practical and realistic solution to these problems or issues. And how do we create strong and good and positive habits moving forward? Because also sometimes you're reacting to a problem that's already existing, but you could create a habit from the beginning. Say you introduced the toothbrush at 12 months old. I'm sure you probably did younger, but we'll just say they're 1. You're going to introduce the toothbrush. Before you introduce that toothbrush, maybe you and your husband talk about it first and say, what do we expect from them? What habits do we want to create? Because I know one that can be a struggle with brushing teeth is if the child gets to hold the toothbrush or the parent does, because we need to help our children brush their teeth. They might fight you on it. So maybe you start off with the habit of mom or dad brushing the teeth first, and then you do your turn now. And every time you brush their teeth, you brush first, and then you say your turn, and they get to do it. So it's, if you can create habits from the beginning of a new thing, as a new thing gets introduced, start off strong and kind of know what your expectations are and work towards achieving your desired result. Create good habits with your baby. It'll help you into toddlerhood. It will help reduce the friction in your home. So good luck to you. Baby steps, repetition. You can do it. Have patience. And remember, your child is little. They're a sponge, but they are little, and you can only expect so much out of them. So good luck. If you like this, subscribe to my channel to find more videos of this vibe and of this nature.